Oh, this is like a Bob Barker microphone.
See, I'd go more like Martian War Machine from War of the Worlds.
Oh, I like that.
That's very on brand of you.
It is.
That
Well,
is on brand.
you know, there's expectations that I have to.
Thanks everybody for being here. Please only ask one question when we bring the mic to you. Raise your hand and we will try to get to everyone. Without further ado, we can get started welcoming the cast and creatives of The Walking Dead. What's up?
Hi, my name is Tanavi Patel. I'm from Digital Spy in the UK. Thank you for being here. My question would be for the executive producers. It looks like we're seeing the smart walkers from the world beyond coming into the main show. I guess also for the cast. How are we going to see the cast up their game and deal with the new threat facing them?
Yeah, I'll take that. I think with the walkers, in some ways, it's a throwback to some walkers we saw back in the very, very first season of The Walking Dead, but not everybody ever encountered those walkers. It's almost like it was a variant that just was regional, and anytime there's a change to the rules, that means that our people just need to be that much more on their game because they're realizing that the methods that they use to survive don't quite work the same way. And so our survivors being very, very smart, they're going to try to adjust to that, but that'll just be one of many of conflicts that they're dealing with in the final block of episodes.
Thank you.
And world beyond wise, I just would say that I wouldn't co-sign on the word smart for the walker. There's something going on there, but I wouldn't put it on jeopardy.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kathleen. I'm with Fox 5. What has been your biggest takeaway from working on this production for as long as you guys have been working on this?
Could you repeat that?
Your biggest takeaway from working on this production?
The biggest takeaway?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, did you say for who, or is this for all of us?
For all of you.
Oh, well, I guess I can answer that one. Well, thank you for signing my name. Thank you for that. I feel like the biggest takeaway from this production throughout, really, at the end of the day, I think the most important thing is that we have really is our community. And I think the things that we do is for our community, and what keeps us human is also our community, the things that we do for each other. And I think that is what The Walking Dead, the themes that you see throughout the seasons. Whatever the storyline is, it's always about the community. In other words, it's about your family. Thank you.
Damon Martin, Rewind of the Living Dead. Question for Scott and Angela, but I guess everyone can answer, but so much of serialized storytelling these days is about how you stick the landing. You know, it seems like shows are so largely judged on how you stick the landing. Think of Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad, shows like that, they're judged so harshly on whether they stick the landing. Now, your show's a little different because we know we're getting more shows, but how important was it for you to stick the landing with this final season?
I think anytime you are tasked with ending a story, and this is true for any show, I think, everybody wants to stick the landing, but particularly for us, this is something that's been so important to our fans, the community that's stuck with us, and for us too. We are all passionate about this show. We love this show, we love working with each other, and so we want to do do it well, do it right. I hope we've done that, I think we've just been working on some of the post-production processes for the finale, which Greg directed, I co-wrote. Many of this wonderful cast have important parts to play, and I think it's just, I hope that the audience will go along on the ride with us.
I mean, it's definitely a challenge, I mean, other shows that you're talking about, Game of Thrones had, 5 seasons? Breaking Bad had 6 seasons. I mean, 11 seasons. So our story, we continued to evolve. The story really did change, The exciting thing for me after season 1 is, I'm like, okay, finally everybody else catches up to me and realizes how cool zombies are. Because I grew up in the George Romero world where Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, that was sort of like my gospel. And Frank Darabont used to say to me that the show was always about survival. He had always wanted to do a zombie apocalypse story. We had talked about something years before The Walking Dead comic book even came out. So it was sort of like a match made in heaven when Frank put the ensemble cast together with Sarah and John and Stephen and Melissa and Norman. And, the show certainly has evolved since then, but we definitely felt like we had an obligation to make sure that we stuck the landing. And that was very prevalent in our thinking. Everybody, all the actors and the crew when we were on set, were like, we can't screw this up because all eyes genuinely end up on the last episode. You could talk about Seinfeld, you could talk about MASH, you could talk about all these great shows that we've loved, and most of the time, the historical relevance of the show is judged on the last episode. So we really struggled and agonized and buckled in to make sure that it served the fans of the show. There were moments that I shot with each of these people to serve their characters that really went to the heart of the show. Good question, by the way. Thank you.
All right, Gilliam from the Nocturnal. Scott, I want to pick your brain for a bit. What was the reason for going from the Rick movies to now exclusive for AMC Plus?
You sure you don't want to ask another question?
I have to, man.
Well, no, I actually, we're doing the show for AMC Plus. We're doing 6 episodes. It's going to be this epic love story, but that's all I got to say on it right now. That's why I was like, you sure you don't want to ask another question?
Sorry, I had to.
Because I'm a fan, Julian. All right.
I'm a fan too, but I can't wait for it though.
Hello, Derek from the Geekdom Fancast. Lovely to see you all. I wanted to involve all of you, so I'll just ask a simple question. If you could choose to have one character that is deceased to have made it longer, who would it be?
Herschel. I'm gonna say Herschel.
I'm going to say Shane. I loved and hated him more than anybody. And I just love that he could be so right in his way of thinking, and you agree with him, but you still hated the way he went about it. And I just loved how it didn't matter what scene he was in. It was just so charged. And I would have loved to have worked with Bernthal and wish he had kind of, he didn't go that many episodes before I showed up, so that would have been cool. I think the governor and Herschel, too, they went like in the episode or two before I came on the show, and I was like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to meet David Morrissey and Scott Wilson, and they were gone. So, but definitely Bernthal, Shane.
I'd say Glenn.
That's what I was
Glenn for me, too.
We all love him.
But we don't want to deny him
Merle?
his
Merle
awesome
would've been
career right now.
I know, he's doing very well. Has a movie opening this week, so.
Yeah. Actually, there was an armadillo that Norman killed in one episode. I think he should have been on longer.
I think I ate it, right?
You did eat it.
I did eat
you
it.
You cooked it and ate it. I think that armadillo did not get enough credit.
Yeah.
That was when you got to Alexandria and you shot the armadillo in the...
Yeah, I destroyed the whole front porch of that little house.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Armadillo
Which
guts.
those houses are for sale now for like $1 million each in Sonoy.
What about you guys? I want to know.
Any question? Any answer?
I guess, sorry. I guess for me, it's the little girl in the first episode with the bunny and the doll. I wish she would have lived a little longer.
I'll say Carl.
That's a good one.
Way to tug at our heartstrings, jeez. Are we going down?
Come on, Michael, make it good, Michael. Who do you got, Michael? Make it good, baby.
I hate being on the spot, you know, like, character that probably it doesn't surface, but Mercer and Max's father.
Beth would have been good.
This was, I'm confused. I would say Tyrese. Tyrese and his mighty hammer and his huge muscles and even bigger heart.
Which I think was one of the best episodes we ever.
His going
I
on
think it was
episode
one of
was
the
fantastic.
best
So good.
episodes. We get text messages from Chad at like 2:00 in the morning.
Yes.
Hey guys, how's it going? We're just like, where are you? But that episode, you wrote that episode, was really, you know, a great opportunity to sort of get into those final moments as to what he was going through, and I think it was one of the best.
What's the title of that episode? Is it
It's-
What's Happening and What's Going On?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, making that episode, Greg and Chad and Stephen and Denai and Andy. When we're in Georgia, I drive past the housing complex that we did it at, which was, you know, a tip to the comic. It was Wiltshire Estates.
Shire was, right?
It was Wiltshire, which Andy was like, what are you talking, like he's from, you know, England. He's like, what are you playing at, Scott? But that was just one of the best experiences.
I have,
It's a good one.
I have a question for you, Scott. I'm just curious. We were just in Hall H, which had like 7,000 people in it, right?
Sure.
You had no mask. We're here. It's like 50 motherfuckers, and you got like 2 masks on.
I guess I'll be playing the role of Dr. Fauci. You know, we got a high ceiling here, but, you know, I'm just, this actually is as a...
I can't understand a word you're saying. I'm like
Yeah.
right next to you.
I think we need subtitles. We need subtitles.
Oh, my God.
I'd like to withdraw the question.
Let's go to the next question.
Oh, my God.
Nigeria Chambers, Big Old Belt Media. I would love to know everybody's reaction to the news of Rick and Michonne's series, seeing their friends Andy and Denai returning to the screen.
We knew already.
Yeah, we already knew. As a matter of fact, there was a conversation that Norman and I had about a year ago when he said, wouldn't it be great if, that, you know, it's funny because it feels like a long time ago that they left the show. I mean, I guess story-wise, but, you know, having been together for so long, and then the story continues. So, you know, we all keep in touch, and we all talk all the time. So it was, you know, conversations about the movie, conversations about this, and, you know, I remember Norman said one of the most interesting quotes to me one day. He's like, man, you know, like if Rick and Daryl ever got together, he's like, I like being Robin to his Batman. And I love that quote. I thought it was so...
It lets you be more of an asshole if you're Robin, I found out. You know?
He's more foul-mouthed Robin than we're accustomed to, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think, didn't Bernthal get offered Rick at one point? He chose Shane instead? I think for the same reason, maybe?
I don't know if it was a choice, but he was in the running.
He definitely auditioned for
Oh,
Rick.
did he? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm standing up. Hi, I'm Aaron Pruner with Inverse.com, and Mr. Nicotero, got a question for you. Good to
Yes.
see you. Over the years, we've randomly had conversations about the different zombie nods that you've thrown in as a fan of Romero and other old school zombie entertainment. It's a two-parter. Do you have a favorite piece that you've thrown in over the years as a nod, and is there any we should be looking out for in these final episodes?
Yeah, there's a couple coming up in the last, probably in the premiere, there might be one that might be a little obvious, but it's fun. But, you know, it's my way, again, always to sort of pay tribute to the genre that I love, you know, and I feel like we've done every tribute Walker that we could think of, so we've kind of drifted into other genres in a couple episodes coming up. But it's just, you know, my way of being able to sort of tell the fans that we're on this experience together and give them little, you know, extra little nuggets here and there.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're getting your steps today, you know.
Hi everyone, my name is Raquel Zambon. I'm representing the Brazilian fans today. Thank you. And this question actually comes directly from a fan. I was just wondering to the entire cast, if possible, regarding when it comes to the evolution of your characters from the first episode that you showed up at the show up until now. What's the one thing, the one characteristic that sort of impresses you the most?
Should I start? I think his honesty. He's very honest. He doesn't really lie to anybody. You know, he says what he means what he says. I like that.
For Eugene, I would say his heart and selflessness. I think that obviously when we first meet him, he's a very selfish man. And I think where he is now, he would lay down his life for his friends if it meant that his friends could continue fighting the good fight. And that, to me, is a great evolution for the guy.
Was honesty taken? You already said honesty.
Yeah,
right?
you can't say that one.
I'll share that with you.
There's only one honest character on the show, so you can't have that.
I would go with Father Gabriel's fervor and resiliency. I think they're kind of a combination. I think he's got a burning desire to do the right thing, by those that he cares about and those that he loves. And he's got a burning cauldron in him that will set ablaze anything around him that threatens that. And I think his fervor, his desire to be closer to God and then reject God and accept himself, I think all those kinds of things.
I would probably say Connie's stalwartness. I think she's just brave. She's not the kind of woman who would just, tuck her tail and run. She would go back. She does what she believes in. She believes what's right. She supports Daryl, in regards to Lydia, and she goes back into the cave to help Magna. So I think that she believes in what she does and her actions that she takes, and she's willing to face sacrifice for the sake of her community.
I love how Judith always wants to make sure her family's protected, and she always wants to do what's right, even if that means she has to fight for it.
I guess for me, it was his unyielding loyalty to the point where it almost gets him in trouble.
Come on, Michael, make it good, Michael.
No pressure, no pressure. He wants to keep people safe, and sometimes that task is a little bigger than what he's expecting, or it may take a different choice to get to create that safety for his loved ones. He's got to be willing to look outside the box for that.
Thank you.
Wow, I saw her look at you and walk past you.
We all thought it was happening.
We all thought it was all yours.
It almost
That was
happened.
awful. I
It
feel
almost
terrible.
happened.
Your heart just broke. Your heart just broke. She's just gonna keep walking past you.
I hope they bring it down to you after. Hi, everyone. Kirsten Acuna with Insider. It's so nice to see all of you not on a Zoom call and like in person for once. So many of my questions have been asked, so I've been sitting here trying to go, what do I ask you guys? So with all of these spin-offs, Daryl, Isle of the Dead, and now this Michonne and Rick series, has the series finale evolved and changed to roll into these series smoothly? Or was there always an ending you were working towards? And I ask that because I think in 2020, we all thought this series was going to go on for 12, 13, it seemed like it could go on for a while. And we were all shocked. We've spoken about that. Will the ending be one with definitive closure or more open-ended as we head into these spin-offs? I have to imagine it's quite the juggling act with all of these shows to come. So I'm sorry, this is, I guess that this is aimed towards Gimple, Ms. Kang, and Greg Nicotero.
Well, we were going off of an assumption that we were continuing to go for a while, and things changed. I feel that it folded into some plans nicely. It folded into some issues, because the finale is about completing the Walking Dead story, not setting up spin-offs. There's room for those spin-offs, but full on, the Walking Dead finale concludes the story of this 11 years. And we didn't want the spin-offs to get in the way of that satisfaction. They live together. They live together, I think, very nicely. You know what? I think that completes my answer.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think the goal is that even if there were no spin-offs, it would feel like there is a closure to the show itself, because the show itself needs its own ending. But, doors are left open, as they so often are in life, and as they were even in the ending of the comic, It's like there's always a story that's continuing once the story that you tell on screen has ended. So that's the spirit.
Which was funny because we didn't even know the comic was ending. I think it was like, oh,
that's right.
By the way, the comic's over. I think we were on set one day going, it's done, and that's how they ended it. Which was, of course, for us who were like, yeah, we got all this story, and here's where we are in Commonwealth, and then they're like, oh, the comic book's done. We're, whoa. It's interesting. I think they should do a spin-off of the making of a zombie TV series.
Well, I heard about a movie where there's talking about the making of a very special zombie movie. I don't know if we'll. Let's talk. Let's chat.
We'll talk. Yeah, we're gonna do a movie about the making of Night of the Living Dead.
That's great. Who's starring in this movie?
I think I know a lot of people on this panel that would be great for this. But it's exciting because it's kind of, like the Ed Wood version of like George Romero learning how to, putting the team together and making Night of the Living Dead. So do a little movie about it.
Thank you.
Good question. See?
Yeah.
Fun. All right.
Thank you.
By the way, no pressure, but this question better be fucking great.
Oh, God, yeah. Feeling all the pressure. I'm Asher Friedberg with the Illuminati. I'm really curious, and this goes for the cast and crew, which character, still alive or dead, or even your own characters, do you feel you connect with the most?
Hard pass.
I'd say Melissa, I'd say Carol and Rick, probably the most for Daryl, for obvious reasons if you watch the show. But, yeah, those. I don't even like the rest of them. No. I don't know, Connie and Daryl connected quite a bit. Judith, of course. I connected with all these guys, actually. Yeah.
Who do we I'm sorry, I was concentrating on my joke. What was your question? I was like, don't fuck this up. All right, here comes your,
You
here's
nailed,
your
you
shot.
nailed, you landed the joke, though.
I landed the joke. But it was who do we identify with most? Character
Yeah,
living
any
or dead?
character, alive or dead, or it could even be your own.
Dale. I mean, the older I get, the more kind of balanced in my views I become of just like, hey, what's the right thing? What's, how do we make sure I'm doing the right thing,
Oh, wait, did I answer that wrong?
You could change, you want to change your answer?
Is this who Norman connects with or who Daryl connected with?
Norman.
Oh, shit, sorry. Sorry. Let me think. Dog, maybe. Yeah, sorry. Your turn. I'm gonna stay with
Eugene.
No, not Eugene.
Not Eugene?
Dog, I think.
Dude, I'm
Father
sitting
Gabriel?
right here.
It's not Father Gabriel?
What?
It's not Father Gabriel? You don't connect to being a
No.
bald black man?
Neither one of you. Maybe Connie I like. Judith I like. Even Mercer I like. But you guys, no, not so much.
What is happening?
You know, the crossover joke between black and white, but I'm drawn to Judith. I'm drawn to Judith. I'm drawn to what's it like to grow up as a child in a zombie apocalypse and, have all this history of heroism that, rains down on your head and that the people coming to depend on you for some kind of leadership position and you're, still dealing with maturing and growing and your brain's still developing. So I think Judith is a fascinating character that Cailey just did an amazing job with, and I think that I could rock that character too if I were given a choice.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm not sure if I understand your question clearly. Is your question which character resonates the most to me personally?
Yes.
It's a tough question.
Yeah, it's a tough
So, okay, so please don't get me wrong, but I have to say Connie, because I feel like it is my job as an actor to really connect with the character that I'm portraying. So, of course, I mean, I love the characters on the show, all the characters, but which character do I actually connect with mostly? The one I actually have to play. So I think, what she does becomes mine, and that becomes Connie, and I think as a person, that's who I connect with the most, so Connie.
That was a really good answer. I don't really know. I've only seen seasons 9 and 10. So,
Are you saying you're too young to watch the show?
no, that's not what I'm
All right,
saying.
just checking.
I don't know. It's a hard question.
She's an honest character, we'll say that. That's very honest.
From my experience this past season, I think Mercer and Mike connect well with Angel and Kelly. It's a good vibe, like it's like you share that look on set and it's like, oh, we cool. That energy, I love it.
I mean, if you want. It was worth the wait.
My name is Karma Savage with Second Union, and my question is, which one episode of the final episodes of the series do we as an audience need to prepare ourselves emotionally for, and which of these do we choose to help with the preparation? Valium, whiskey, or wine?
Finale,
All three is always good.
Yeah.
The volume and the whiskey.
That's you, Angela.
Oh, it's me. I'd say the finale. Yeah, mix and match is necessary.
But, consult your doctor first. Cool.
Spoken from a doctor.
Yeah, doctor. I realize the reason I'm in a mask is I stand in solidarity with all these fine people here. Okay, I thought that would get a much bigger reaction.
I couldn't understand you.
Couldn't understand
You saved
what
it. You
said.
saved it.
No, it's always good when you have to ask for it.
Okay, this is going to be our last question.
Oh, wow, what happened?
pressure. So.
So many
Everyone
arms
just
up.
shout your question at once.
Who has the best one?
Oh, wow. Oh, I
No, he has to get a question.
You already got a question.
Hi, I'm Mandy from Nerds and Beyond. My question was, is there a plot or storyline for your character, either in the next season or the last season, or in the past, that has happened that you wish had happened differently?
Be careful.
Well, this might hurt.
I wish that Father Gabriel and Rosita had gotten together sooner. I think, I think that they're a formidable pair. Yeah, I know it rankles Josh, because, but whatever. But I think that if they would have gotten together sooner, I think that we could have saved Avinash's character some trauma and death. I think, I still think that Abraham would still be alive. He would have, signed off on their little union. I think a lot of people would still be alive if Father Gabriel and Rosita got together sooner.
I mean, I'm happy with Eugene's arc and the stories and stuff, but something, Seth, you and I have talked about over the years, back in season 5 when the group had arrived to Alexandria, and this is pulled from the comics, there was a moment...
Comes out of the woods and we talk about God.
Yeah, we just have a conversation about the existence of God. And things get cut out for time and all that stuff, and so it got cut from the script, and then we actually never shot it, but then we've had like small, tiny versions of that where there might be a moment or two.
Like an echo.
Yeah, and we'll just look at each other and go, this is that conversation and that one grunt that we're giving to each other. But that's something I wish we could have explored, because I think we were both kind of connected to telling that.
I think we're both really looking forward to having more work, quite frankly, and we weren't given the opportunity to shine in that regard. However, we were able to shine in other regards in the show, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you all for coming. Are there no other questions for Father Gabriel?
I can't understand him either, though. Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Happy Comic-Con. Yeah, he did. I see that.
Up against the wall, Seth.
What's up, buddy? Hey, how are you, man?